I can't remember what number I'm on video-wise, but this is the next installation in taking apart jewelry. And here's another one that's a lot of beaded chain. Now, I love beaded chain as accents. So I'm actually just going to take the little pendant off and then keep the rest of this beaded chain. Now, see, that's an awful, I don't know if you can see how bad that is. It's pretty awful. So I'm just going to cut that because it's misshapen. It's not closed properly, and it's very old from age. Take off this lovely little pendant drop here and put it in my, see, I'm keeping all my stuff. I've got a box where I'm putting things in a tray over here. I'm setting things. And as I go through, I'm figuring out what I'm going to keep and what I'm going to donate. And if you haven't watched all the videos, that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm deciding what I'm going to keep and what I'm going to donate, because I have a thrift store that I've been donating a lot of really nice jewelry to that I'm not going to sell, that I don't personally want. And then they told me to give them the junk jewelry too, because they sell that in bags. So that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm sorting out what I want and what I'm going to give them. Now, this is another gorgeous pair of vintage earrings that I might be able to sell later. They need some repairs, so I'm going to keep these separate. These are absolutely stunning. Now, they could be worth something. I don't know. This one's got a pearl that's in the bag. I have to glue back 2 pearls. Are they both in here? See, I don't think they are. I've only got one of them. So I'm going to have to find another pearl, and finding one without holes. So that's the problem when you get some of these pieces that could be nice. They're not worth anything if they're missing a stone. So these have to go in my repair. I've got a repair box. And see if I can find a pearl. Now here's one that's easy. Just simply clip it. I've got this little piece which I will donate to the church. I won't use this little piece here. So I'll go in my donation pile. I love these blue ones. I will keep all these blue beads here. And I'll let them have these spacers. And I think the silver beads are kind of garbage, so I'm going to probably throw those away. But these are one of my favorite colors, so I will save those. Yeah, I'm going to have to start laying stuff out on the tray because I just threw my glasses on the ground because I'm out of room in the box. Because all this, the box is just temporary. I've got, if you know my studio, you've seen all my dozens of boxes. So I've got tons and tons and tons of boxes that all my jewelry goes into. This is just temporary storage until I get it put where it goes. So these I'll donate. They'll go in my donate pile over here. I don't have to have all the beads separated. I'm just not going to put a whole ton of loose beads on them. I'm going to, and this is trash. It's going to go over on this side. I'm trying to keep the trash separate from the good stuff. But the beads don't have to be separated. Like, I can give them a bag of mixed beads, but I want to try to separate some of them for them. Let's see what's next in here. And I've got so many bags of jewelry, it's not even funny. You would be shocked if you saw. Now here's another one, and it's all gorgeous charms. And this is easy. I just opened up I'm just going to open up all the jump rings. Start on one end. These are really nice quality, so I will reuse these. Sometimes I don't. If they're not great quality, if they're not in good shape, but these are beautiful heavy-duty jump rings, and they're vintage like the charms. So I will take these off, and I will keep the charms on these nice chunky. If that wasn't on camera, I apologize. I'm going to adjust the camera. But I will keep the jump rings on these charms. So let me move this where you can see it better. Let me move the camera down. So I'm just going to start at one end like I just did and work my way down. Here's another one. And these aren't expensive charms. Like, this one's just a plastic bead. But the bead is a nice quality plastic. I will reuse it, and I like the bead charm on, or the bead cap on there is very nice. So I like to keep, and it is vintage, so I will keep this all together, and I will keep these beads on their jump rings. which just makes them a little bit nicer. I'll just take a couple more off to show you, and then, and see, part of the problem was there was a few missing here and there. It wasn't a complete necklace or bracelet, but it's really pretty. Well, they might have all been here. I don't remember. Did I just take those off in that spot? It's very possible. But it just wasn't worth anything. I've been trying to sell some of this jewelry. Some of it's been listed. Some of it's been listed for quite a while. Now this one looks like it's got some damage, but it might still be useful. Now these are double-sided, so they're really cool. I don't mind when things are slightly damaged. That doesn't bother me. You can still do stuff with it. If it's pretty enough, you sure can. I like filigree. I have a whole box of filigree. And then I've got boxes and boxes of different metal beads. And this one got a little bit squished, but it's fixable. Now here's a big one that's red. And it's two-sided, and that one's not got any damage. They're just gorgeous charms. So like one of these would be great as a pendant because it can flip around and be just as pretty from either side. It's like if you hung that on a necklace, it doesn't matter if it flips around. So I'll finish taking that apart and putting those pieces away. And then this one's gorgeous. Again, it's a beautiful necklace, and it's well made, it's good quality, but it's worthless. And the chain even has the same design. Now this one I might keep as is because I might use it in sections. Like I might leave these, or I might take off this and start here and put these at the top. I want to have the option. So this is one of the ones I'll keep together in my chains and can use it any way I want. I may end up taking it completely apart. Now this is just a black necklace or string of beads, I think, is in my stuff. Yeah, this is just a string of beads. They're knotted. They're black, opaque beads. So those will just go, I don't know where. This one has just a very delicate chain. And so what I'll do is I'll hang on to this bag that it's in. I'll take it apart. And this is floating through 2 holes in the back. See that? And we'll see. I don't think I can get either the clasp or this through the holes, but let's see if I can. Because usually they make it so you can't. Yeah, see, it's this... I can just take this little bit off the bottom. Let me open this little hoop and pull the chain off, that off. And the chain should come through. There. And then I just have this little piece. I got the jump ring. There's a little jump ring. And I can put the chain, it's the chain extension back on, and then I can put the little, this was that little tiny tab thing on the back end of it. Slide that on there and then close it back up, and then I have a separate chain and pendant. I will be honest with you, that is the thing I probably do the most when I'm taking apart jewelry. I'd say more times than not, is that done? More times than not, what I'm doing is taking apart a chain, like taking off the clasp or a part of the chain to get a charm off. That's what I do most of the time. And I don't see if any other little tiny bags, so I'll just reuse this one. I don't like, I've got a bunch of tiny bags somewhere I can find later. Because I don't like putting those little chains just loose in the box, or you end up with a big nightmare. And then this beautiful charm, which I can reuse. It hangs from the side. You can use one or both of those, and then I can use that on something else. A charm bracelet, which I love to make. Here's another interesting older piece. And I've got hundreds of chains. And this is how I get them. Here's one that's got a gorgeous, and it's signed. It's Avon. It's an old Avon piece. Beautiful green rhinestone, emerald cut emerald. But again, it doesn't have a jump ring, so I have to be able to pull the chain through the hole. So I'm going to have to take off this jump ring. So I will hold the jump ring on one side. I will open it on the other. This one's kind of a mess, but I'll still put it back on if I can. Take this beautiful pendant off, which I will probably use. Let me see if I can get this on real easily. Yeah, I got it back on. And then I'll just... it wasn't round when I got it, but I'll leave it on for now. I might have to put a different jump ring on when I go to use this chain. I might be able to use that. We'll see. But here's a really nice piece of chain and a gorgeous charm that could go on a charm bracelet or be reused for a necklace. And then I'll go on my silver charms and my silver necklaces. Let me see, how many minutes are we at? We're at 11, so I can do maybe one more, show you something else that I'm going to do. Now, sometimes you find a piece like this, it's beautiful, but again, it's not a name brand, it's not sellable. So what I will do is take the chain off, but I will leave the jump ring on the charms because this could be a bracelet. So what I will do is I will take and hold it from one side, take the other tool, and sometimes this is easier said than done because you almost have to do it from there we go. Pull this off. Oh wait, I was gonna no, I was gonna do the opposite. I was gonna leave it on the bracelet, not the chain. Yeah, because this could be an actual bracelet, and having the jump rings that go with it will be handy. Yeah, I did that the wrong way. Let's get it on there. See if it'll go back on there. Okay. There we go. And then close it back up. That's not closing good. The problem with jump rings sometimes is getting them to look good when you close them. It is harder sometimes than you think, just because the jewelry itself makes it hard. This one's really stiff too. When they're softer, they're easier to work with, but this was a really tough one. I might not be able to save this one because sometimes you have to go, is my time worth this, you know? And it is fighting me. Okay, it's on there. I don't know how well, but we'll see. We'll do this one too. And that's some of the thing you have to say. If you're just doing one piece, that's all you're doing, then you can take time and it doesn't matter. But when you've got literally hundreds of pieces, which I do, to go through and do this too, that one's better. Okay, so that gives me this. I could make a bracelet out of it. It's almost perfect by the time you put a clasp on it. So that'll go in here for maybe a future bracelet. And then we have a chain that I can use. And this is my favorite type of chain. This is a Rollo chain, nice quality one that I can use for a piece that's going to be like maybe steampunk or something, where I'm going to put several different types of chain together, because that's one of my favorite things to do. Do I have gold chain in here? I don't think I do. I've got a ton of silver, so I'll put the silver here. Rollo chain is my favorite. I love making different styles of jewelry where I use more than one kind of chain in it. That's just really something I get a kick out of. Here's another one that's really gorgeous. That is an actual, like an eyeglass holder. Isn't that pretty? So I'm going to leave this together for a special project. I may, when I go to use it, open this up and add a bead on each side. But I think I want to use it as is, just adding to it. So this one will stay together like that other one did. And where are we? 15 minutes. I gotta finish this up. Here's one. And I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna do quite a few videos. This one has a really pretty enameled and rhinestone pendant. And then all these stones, and then this chain. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this wire. See, it's held together with wire. Can you see? Right here. I'm going to cut that wire, and I'm going to cut it on this side, which will allow me, okay, oh, on this side it's an actual jump ring. I'm just going to cut it. That'll allow me to keep this piece, and then I'll cut it on this side, which will allow me to keep this piece. So I have these two pieces of chain that can go together, and I will put them in a little bag together and use them for a project that's similar to this. Now this is a short one. If I was going to do this, I'd do a longer necklace. Sometimes I might just use only the oh wow, that didn't open up. I thought it would open up. Oh, there's a crimp bead there. Okay, we're going to take all these beautiful beads off. That's what I want. There. And the beautiful enamel charm, which I can use for a necklace. So that'll go in here. And then all these gorgeous beads. I got some nice silver beads, which I really like. I can put them in with my metal beads. Some nice silver beads. And then I've got some black. Only one, that's weird, only one of these. You'd think they would have matched it on the two sides unless it went flying and I didn't see it. I got these black. Now those I don't care much for, so those will go into the charity. These and this one, I might keep that one. And then I will keep these little clears and whites because I like those. So I'll keep these. And I'll put these over on my other tray over here. Now, I've got these earrings that go with that bracelet piece that I put aside. Where did I put that bracelet? The one I cut apart. Well, wherever I put it, I'll put the earrings with it. So that way if I make something out of there, I've got these earrings to go with it. There's this piece here, which gives me a bunch of really nice gorgeous filigrees, and this is not signed. It does not even have a clasp, but I can take each one of these off, and I think in this case I want to leave the jump rings on the chain if I can. Each piece is unique. You never know if you're going to be able to save the jump rings. I'm going to take it off of here, keep it on the chain so that I can hook this chain together with maybe some beads or charms. Now if I do beads, I won't need the jump rings because I will take and put a loop, put a bead, put a loop, and hook them together that way. But for now, I think it's more important to keep the chain on this one on the jump rings on the chain rather than the charms. I've got plenty of nice gold jump rings I can put on the charms to use them for connectors, and so that's what I'll do there. I'm not going to make you watch me do them all, but these are gorgeous. And look at look like they were two pieces that were put together. They're just gorgeous. Like you could put an ear wire here and hang a bead off. In fact, I think I'm going to make a couple pairs of earrings like that. And when I do the jewelry, I will do a video for you. I'll take that apart later. I'm not going to make you watch. We are at 20 minutes, so I'm going to call this a day on this video, but I will be back with more. I'm doing probably 100 videos doing this because there's so much joy to take apart. And I figure I can drop a couple of these a week for you guys in between doing some other stuff. But this week, this is what I'm doing, so I thought I'd share it with you. So I'm going to shut down this video, and I'll start right back up where I left off.